At Isothermal Community College, as part of the Minority Male Mentoring Program, myself and 8 other young men took a journey back in time. This was a journey of new beginnings, a journey of hope, a journey on a path bathed with the blood, sweat, and tears of many. We are walking through the civil rights movement, following in the footsteps of some of the greatest African American leaders of our time. Some have fallen in their attempt to protect the weak, but most are among us every day, watching, unknown to the naked eye. Ordinary people who rose up to greatness. Warriors who fought the most treacherous enemy in battle and won: oppression. They stand before us today with callous souls. After seeing the historic places and talking to survivors of the struggle, will we come back changed? This is our story.
What we're going to see is what happens when people stick together. People that come from all kind of neighborhoods, people come from fatherless homes, backgrounds, had drinking, had teenage pregnancy, but these people, all they done was stuck together.
Our first stop, Atlanta. Martin Luther King's boyhood home in the King Center.
Atlanta, here we come, baby. I want to know, what do you go? I want to know, what's your strategy in order to obtain those goals?
Okay.
I want to know, number 3, what's holding you back, though? And number 4, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to just let your situation trample over you? Or are you going to overcome your situation?
My number 1 goal
All right, starting with Mr. Bond.
is to make sure that my daughter has a better life than I went through.
My goal is to make it through college, make the Isothermal, and either go to North Carolina or go to the armed forces.
My goal is to earn a scholarship and try to make it about it.
We all face different challenges. Some of us have hoop dreams, some just want to make it, and some have someone else depending on us to make it for their survival. Different obstacles that keep our dreams just a little off in the distance. We stopped by the Martin Luther King Center to see the exhibits. We also watched a movie in the center's theater about the Birmingham bus boycotts. We stopped by Dr. King's boyhood home on Auburn Ave. Our guide was Reverend Jeremiah Williams, who had marched with Dr. King in past Atlanta protests. He told us that we would have been targets back in those days, that they didn't care about the ones that were not advancing in life. If you were a young, handsome, educated black male of any age, you were a target, and they were out for blood.
And I remember that day, man, when I walked across that stage and I got that degree and I tried to give it. I said, Mama, I said, I did this for you. And this is what she told me. She said, no, you didn't. You did it for you. And you did it for your children and for your kids. I broke the curse, is what I'm saying. Mr. Davis, when you walk across that stage, they're going to look at you and say, man, I can't believe that. What? Mr. Davis? Brian? What? No, wasn't he this? Wasn't he that? Didn't he? But see, all they're going to say now, didn't he graduate? And now you're a daughter. And your children, they're going to say, my dad did it, so I can do it. So you're setting the path. That's why there's a sense of urgency in Mr. Williams' voice. It's not to make you afraid, it's to get you motivated. It's to get you motivated. And I don't know how you could even go in a house like that and come out and not feel it. I felt it as he was talking.
Our next stop is Birmingham, Alabama, famous for the bus boycotts and the senseless murder of 4 little girls in the 16th Street bombing. When you see footage of children getting sprayed with fire hoses, beat by officers, and attacked by dogs, that's Birmingham's Kelly Ingram Park. They once called the city Bombingham because of all the bombings that occurred during this time of social unrest. It is also the location of the 16th Street Church, where 4 young girls, the youngest 11 years old, were killed by a bomb that hit the church early one morning. This incident was 18 days after the March on Washington, where Dr. King gave his I Have a Dream speech. The people of the city are proud of their history and the will of their people.
A newspaper photographer took a picture of the actual arrest and made the front page the very next day. And you wonder why the boy is leaning back, because if you notice the monument, the officer took the chain off the door. Christopher. The dog. Right. The officer. A tribute to a foot soldier. There's only 3 of them left out of the 7. Freedom Walk. Welcome to the journey. Why is he leaning back? Question number 1. Why won't put up a defense? He's leaning back, putting up no defense because the civil rights movement was a what? Non-violent movement. He was committed to it. That's why the words are there. Courage, gallantry, bravery. It's a powerful word here. Unshaken in the faith. Liberty and justice, my favorite 2 words for all. Why foot soldier and freedom walk? Everything the civil rights movement achieved and accomplished, it was done by walking. Welcome to Freedom Walk. History. History. My friend, 4 beautiful water wells. See them? 4 beautiful girls. The water flows over like a river. Tears. A reflection. And the center of them is one big circle with 2 words. Revolution, reconciliation. I love this stuff. For entrance, place of revolution and reconciliation. Kelly Ingram. Every 4, each entrance, there's only 4. In 63 of 1900, a bloody serious revolution took place on the Kelly Ingram ground, but also forgiveness. That's why revolution and reconciliation is written so many times. We charge a fault no one. As a matter of fact, we appreciate that era. We're going to vote this year. Now what? The ground we stand on is African American history, but the name is Caucasian. Irish Kelly Ingram was. My boy too. He was a native and a firefighter who got drafted in the Navy. First American sailor to be killed in action in World War I, cross Italy above the USS Cassini. Because of that, they give him Medal of Honor, bury him in honor his name. Later, years later, I love this stuff. When the civil rights movement come to Birmingham, Alabama, we use the park for all activities that's out of history. We'll not change the name. Why? The civil rights movement had nothing to do with color. Everything to do with being equal. Kelly Ingram was a fine American. 1, he was a veteran. That's good enough for me. 2, above all, he was an American. Should anything else matter? They got arrested because they were demonstrating. Children's March, James Drake, 92. He did a immaculate job too. I love this stuff. You go on the outside, you look in, they got arrested for demonstrating while being incarcerated. They're making a powerful statement. I love this stuff. I ain't afraid of your jail. Excuse the improper English, my friend. You come back around and you face the bars like the students, and above them it says segregation is a sin written upside down. We will turn your jail system upside down. History all by itself. The dogs, police attacks dogs. Well, James Drake did another immaculate job, my boy. Watch this. We had 3 enemies during the era. One of them, water, H2O. Another one of them, dogs, for walking. 3rd and primarily, man.
In Selma, Alabama, we met Joanne Bland, a survivor of Bloody Sunday.
We are mass leaders in this church. most of the marches we talk about left from here are right in this area, okay? The Selma to Montgomery March, and right out that door.
She took us on a historical tour of Selma and introduced us to individuals with various stories of racial injustice.
So I broke the window and kept yelling, we all yelled for help. But when the jailer came in, he wanted to know what nigga had broke that window. And he said if we didn't tell him, he was gonna put us in this sweatbox. So I figured, you know, that people used to say, white people used to say how superior mentally they were over the black man. And I had been in jail 7 or 8 times at this point. And each time we went to jail, they took our pictures and our fingerprints. So I figured, you know, I'd just say my name, which was Linda Blackman, and he'll go find me. So when I said I was Linda Blackman, somebody else was Linda Black, somebody else was Linda Black. There was about 5 of them. And I said, well, he gonna find out who I am because he got my picture. They ain't had that much sense. He did. He got mad because we, you know, were smart.
Well, everybody white in Selma County and the surrounding counties were democratized. So this big white guy came on a big old horse. So Tom said, well, I'm not in it. And the guy said, you're a nigger. He said, yeah. He said, you're in it. So he hit Tom's idea with a billy stick. So when he hit Tom, you know, I'm a fairly young guy, so I'm nimble. When he hit Tom, I flattened my body to the pavement. I could feel the wind from the stick when he hit at me. Yeah. And when I stood up again, I was 2 blocks over the other side. And I realized I was running to the white community, so I stopped. Went down to where Regent Bank is now, and then came across by Greyhound. When the project, well, people in the project were so terrified, they wouldn't let you in the house. Well, I understood that. So I eventually went on across on St. Anne.
Right.
Hi, Joanne. And when I went to St. Anne, I crawled under a house. And I stayed there until everything died down. So it was a pretty traumatic experience for everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
John Lewis was the student leader here in Selma. He was the president of SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. John Lewis led the march along with Hosea Williams on March 7, 1965. When we went up to that bridge and were released by law enforcement. If you holding that history in your hand, you must be special. Lawrence Huggins was a teacher here. He taught at the black high school. And he was one of the teachers, the black teachers would say, get up and get out of here and go fight for your freedom. And then he'd get up and leave too, because he had no students. He'd come down here and fight for your freedom too. He's my best guide, and he tells these wonderful stories. He led a march. It's called, that's now termed as the Teachers' March. Our teachers didn't have the right to vote. So they marched up to the courthouse to register to vote. And in this documentary called Eyes on the Prize,
yes,
Coach Huggins is the one, the sheriff keep pushing back down those steps. Okay? You're holding that history. You know that looks like Carly C's rock. That's Linda's husband. She never had but one boyfriend. You know that though. Him. She met him then, okay? But I love my brother-in-law, he's sweet. He stood on this rock, right here, March 7. He was a high school student at Aubrey Hudson High School. I'm taking you by there today so you can see it. Because most of the marchers that marched were your age and younger. They were just like you. You would have been there too. You can keep that rock, or you can throw it back down. But if you keep that rock and take it back to Carolina, you need to put it where you can see it. You need to put it where you can see it every day. Because when you see injustice committed against anybody, and you feel like you can't do nothing or don't know, go pick up that rock, hold it in your hand, and take from it the strength of the ordinary people that stood on it. Made history that not only changed Selma in the South, it changed this entire nation. And then get up off your behinds and do something, because you have that same strength.
The next stop is Montgomery, Alabama, the destination of the protesters of Bloody Sunday. We stopped by the legendary Dexter Avenue Baptist Church where Dr. King once preached sermons. It took the people of Selma 5 days to walk the distance from Selma to Montgomery. Their determination and will of spirit got them through the beatings, the rain, and the miles of walking it took them to reach their destination.
That elevator, I think, and one reason that you're here is to do that.
We went up to the Capitol building where they had a statue in tribute to the Confederacy's one and only president, Jefferson Davis. We left Montgomery and headed to the great Tuskegee University, where Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver, and many other great African-American leaders have attended. I have never been on a large university campus before this. It was amazing to see the size of the campus. It also impressed me to see so many African-American people doing positive things with their lives. Some people say it shouldn't matter, but I think it does. I've seen very few college graduates where I'm from, and I am the first in my family to attend college. In school, we learned that African American people were slaves, we fought for our freedom, and we got killed for it. It kind of makes you feel bad about your past, because growing up, I never had evidence that an African American could be successful until now. When you realize that you come from a great people that have done incredible things, it gives you a sense of worth, and it makes you believe that you too can be successful.